Hey, what's going on, you guys? Taylor and Riley here today, and we are going to be diving in and talking about Call of Duty Cold War and really what revived our passion for Call of Duty after playing this game. Because, me personally, and I don't know about you, Riley, but for the Call of Duties that came out previous to this and some of the ones that came out afterwards, Call of Duty Cold War has been like the one game that has come out in recent years that has really revived my passion and love and really brought me back to what makes me want to play Call of Duty in the first place and, love the franchise as much as it is, despite all of its flaws.
And for me, this game was just this was like my favorite game in years. So like I played Black Ops 4 and I played Modern Warfare, the two games that came out before this. But this was the one where I just thought it was perfect on all fronts. Modern Warfare they had Warzone and I didn't like Warzone. BO4, I liked the multiplayer. The zombies was all right, but they didn't have a story. Like there was problems with the other two. I played them. I didn't love them. This was the first one in a long time that I fully, and the one before that, World War II, great story. It's just like there was something wrong with every game. There was something wrong with it.
Whether it's the multiplayer,
I just thought it was
the
exactly
Blackout, the Warzone. There's always some gimmick that they were
that I just didn't like.
Yes.
And for this one, I just thought it was perfect on all fronts. I loved the story. It was a little convoluted at points, but I just loved that they actually brought back a story to the Black Ops franchise. The multiplayer was super fun, and I really liked it. The zombies, again, I really enjoyed the zombies for what it was, but we'll get into all that. For me, this game there hasn't been a game even since, like, we had Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Like, there hasn't been a game since that I just thought has been good as Cold War. It's been my favorite game in years.
Yes,
sure.
And I'm right there with you. And truth be told, there is no Call of Duty that has ever been perfect. I don't think that there will be one that is perfect.
There's stuff wrong with Cold War too. I just feel like there's something there.
Yes, out of all the ones from recent years, it is the one that consistently got good marks all across the board. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it went above and beyond in any stretch of the imagination in any one of those regards.
But campaign, like, that shouldn't be something. That should be something that's
self-explanatory. BO4.
Yeah.
But essentially, what it does well. It doesn't do anything extraordinary, not necessarily, but it does. It's a very solid game. It gives you a solid path to go that they laid out for where they can take it in the future and where looks like they're taking it for BO6. And people will say BO6 is Cold War 2, which to an extent I totally get it.
I'm kind of fine with, to be honest.
But I'm kind of fine with that also to an extent too, because that means that they're building on what they did right instead of just doing a completely left field thing. So, but before we do a deep dive into BO6.
Not deep dive. No. Oh, BO6. You mean Cold War?
Yeah, I am so sorry, guys. Before we do a dive into our feelings of the multiplayer campaign and zombies and our history with it throughout the last couple of years and how it's stuck around with us in our forefront of our memories.
Now we're still playing it today.
Yes, and how we're still playing it today in the warm up to BO6. We want to dive more into that, but before we do that, what have you been playing recently, Riley, game-wise?
All right, dude. Hold on. I'll be right back, everyone. Sit in your seats, grab a nice bowl of chicken noodle soup. I'll be back.
All right, what'd you go grab, Riley? Wait, sus. Oh, nice, dude. Breath of the Wild. That's
the very first Zelda game I've ever copped. I haven't played it yet, so it's kind of cheating because I haven't played it yet. But I just bought it yesterday, and I'm super hyped to get into it, dude. I got it for $40, which is probably better than that in Nintendo store. It's probably $60 on there.
Yep.
So toy box is lit.
No, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I'm glad to get it. I'm happy to get into that. But games that I have been playing, actually, I've been sick the past couple of days. Well, yesterday mostly. So I wasn't playing any games. I was kind of just laying in bed all day. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah, from when I was playing games, I'm trying to remember the last game I was playing. Hold on. Oh, me and Carson were playing. So I don't know if everyone has played this. Have you heard of the game Sackboy?
No, I have not. What is that?
It's It's a platformer that come out within the last 4 or 5 years, I think. It's kind of a newer platformer, and I really liked it because it's kind of not rejuvenated my interest in platformers, but it's kind of nice because it's kind of a new platformer in this generation. Where I feel like there hasn't been that many platformer games coming out in this generation besides like remakes of other games. We had Cuphead, but it's a really fun game, and you can play it with your friends, split screen. It's a really fun game. It's kind of childish. It's got some like Mario stuff, but the puzzles are fun. It's a really enjoyable game. I'll probably, if you can, throw a picture up there. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
can throw it up there.
the designs of Sackboy are really good, and yeah, that game's really fun. And I've been playing that game a decent amount with Carson. We've been trying to beat it. It's only got like 5 worlds, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's been pretty fun. They got some time trials. Yeah.
The only other platformers I can really think of that have come out recently are Celeste, and then from like an actual like AAA studio. Remember when Microsoft tried to do like something called like Lucky's Tale or something like that, and there was like an orange fox that they tried plastering over everything. There was a
No.
period of time that they did that, and that's the only other one that I can think of in recent history.
Yeah, like when I think of platformers, I think of like 90s, 2000s, like Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Dexter,
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, Ratchet and Clank. A lot of them were like 90s, 2000s. So it's cool that they're bringing in some new ones for this generation
Yeah.
to pique the interest. But yeah, what about you, Taylor?
Well,
even
before I dive into mine, some of mine goes a little bit toe in toe with yours, but I wanted to circle back to Breath of the Wild because I've been also in the last, I would say this year has been the first year that I've really started diving more into the Legend of Zelda series, and I've tried out quite a few of the different games, a part of the series that have come out throughout the years. I tried Ocarina of Time. I tried
That's another one.
Majora's Mask. I went and I played A Link to the Past for Game Boy Advanced. There's, what was it, Twilight Princess was one that I started playing. I haven't finished any of them. These are all ones that I picked up, played a bit of it, started getting through the adventure.
Just because we're both playing Zelda games, this isn't like a hint towards a video of Zelda coming soon, but there possibly maybe at some point in the channel. Because if we're both playing the games, it kind of makes sense for us to talk.
I mean, plus it's just an iconic franchise in general.
Exactly, and I'm disappointed that I've waited so long to get into the franchise.
Yes, and I mean, like, truth be told, it's not one that I grew up with, and none of my cousins really grew up with it. Yes. I grew up with a lot of Sonic and a lot of Mario, and I mean, I just didn't play Legend of Zelda. It wasn't one that was a part of my roster, but like my girlfriend, for instance, she played Twilight Princess, she played Skyward Sword. I mean, if we had a Switch, she'd play through Breath of the Wild and then the newest one, which is actually not the newest one anymore. The newest one is Echoes of the Kingdom. Echoes of Wisdom. Echoes of Wisdom. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That one's the first 2D Legend of Zelda that's come out in years, and that one I've heard is really good. But then the sequel to Breath of the Wild is Tears of the Kingdom, and that came out earlier. I think late last year is when it came out. But I've just heard just phenomenal things all across about those, and it's just, I mean, especially what they can get out of
It came out last year.
Gotcha. I'm just surprised what they can get out of the Switch hardware, that they can pump that much through it and still make it look good and play good and run well. I mean, because what I do it all, I've been playing it through like my Steam Deck and that sort of stuff, and it's been running really well. And I mean, it's just a lot of fun. But games that I've been playing this week, I went and I played some more 007 Nightfire because I've been wanting to go and complete that game. It's been just one of my childhood, like, I've never completed it, but I've gotten like halfway through the game. That and Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 are ones that I have on my bucket list to complete.
Yeah, dude.
But I played through both of those a bit, and then I've been like, some nights I just get, like, since I'm gearing up and I'm excited for BO6 Zombies, I would just hop on my Steam Deck, and I've been trying to complete this, and I finally completed it the other night. But it was a custom zombies map, but it was one where there was that Staircase to Heaven one that I showed you.
Oh yeah, that one was fun.
but I finally completed that and got the points, the buyable points ending at the very end of it, and it was not bad. But I've had a lot of failed attempts at it. Let's just say that. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
remember
happy.
when you were on there. That was pretty hectic.
Yeah, but I was pretty happy to finally complete that. But those are the main games that I've been playing while gearing up towards, the release that's going to be coming out here pretty
Like a
damn
week
soon. So yeah, depending on when this comes out, it could be sooner than that. So
Yeah, but when this video comes out, it might be coming out like within the next couple of days.
yeah, exactly, or within the day.
Yeah.
No,
Who knows when this video's
we'll have to see, but only time will
Oh, yeah,
tell.
actually,
Only
Cold
you
War.
guys would tell us. So in the comments below, let us know if the game has come out yet, and if it has, what are your thoughts? And let us know. Has it been above your expectations, below your expectations? Like right now, the expectations for BO6 are pretty high, and I think a lot of people are very excited for this one, especially with how well Cold War did.
And that feels like a pretty good transition.
Yes, and without further ado, let's get back into our Cold War memories and what made us fall in love with the Call of Duty franchise yet again. Stop making the mic break.
It's so soft. You can sleep on it. It's like a pillow.
Yeah, I don't like what you were doing to your pillow, homie. Diddying the mic.
Hey, don't even.
If it was a Diddy mic, then it would be all oiled up. So I think we're
Yeah, it would be all.
But, so speaking of freaking face that looks like oil, Mr. Woods looks quite young compared to what it looked like.
Let's jump into the campaign and jump right into bashing Woods, because why does this guy look 20 years younger when the game takes place 20 years later than Black Ops? I just want to say, because like what the hell, man? Like,
I love how we started off
like a model.
I love how we started off with all happy, like rose glasses and everything like that for Call of Duty Cold War, and the first thing we start off is doing is just bashing the shit out of Woods.
It's honestly not that bad. The game looks amazing.
Yeah.
All the design and it came out in 2020, so the game looks really good.
The voice acting, though. The voice acting could do.
Oh, not phenomenal. It's good.
You can tell some of it was recorded during COVID and that sort of stuff. And the fact that they have different voice actors takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to.
Yeah, because they had different voice actors for what was it, Woods and Mason?
That and Hudson, I think.
And Hudson, which kind of sucks because I love the original voice cast for Woods, Hudson, and Mason.
Yes, but
that was a little bit of a letdown, but it's still, I think, it's still really good.
And I mean, I guess with the campaign in general, because that's really where, first and foremost, it's great.
Best campaign in years.
Yes, considering that they had a campaign, it made somewhat sense. It wasn't a complete convoluted mess. And honestly, it was just
the best campaign in years, because Modern Warfare 2019, this campaign's pretty good too. But I would say it's probably better.
I would say it's years better than
You would say it's years
MW3's
better.
campaign. MW3's campaign feels like you're just running around in circles waiting for them to actually get to a conclusion that could have taken 4 hours.
Modern Warfare 2019, not Modern Warfare 2019.
Okay. I was about to say, like...
Modern Warfare 3 is ass. That campaign has been the worst one since probably Vanguard.
Okay, I'm glad you made that clarification, because I was quite concerned about your psyche there for a second.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I would definitely say Modern Warfare 2019's campaign is really good too. But I just loved something about Cold War is just seeing all the characters back. It was awesome. Adler was a great addition.
Yes,
and
Adler's
I love
the Chad, dude.
Dude, Adler is such a Chad. His fucking scar, dude. Badass. But
Quick question: did you ask him how he got his scar?
Dude, I actually just watched a video. I just watched a video on it or something, and one of them was was attacked by a tiger.
Well, I just remember that Park tells you, don't ask him how he got that scar.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember when I went through the campaign, the first thing I did afterwards was go and ask him how he got that scar, because I thought he was gonna like shoot me or something.
So, I actually just watched a short on this. He gives 3 different answers. So the game takes place. Well, the game each thing has like it changes the outcome. Like there's two different endings to the story, so each thing means something. So I guess he can say three different things. I'm not sure if the dialogue switches, but one of them he's attacked by a tiger, which is a pretty badass one. I would go with that one every time. The other one is he fell on a utility pole, which is kind of lame. And then the other one is something about like a girl, like he had a bad interaction with a girl. I'm not sure about that one either. But I like the
So
one attacked by a tiger.
so you got attacked by a cat, violating OSHA, and getting played.
Utility pole.
No, that is violating
OSHA.
OSHA. Bro violated OSHA violations. He wasn't wearing his safety hazmat suit and wasn't forklift certified.
But yeah, this game, the campaign takes place in 1981. So it takes place in between Black Ops 1's campaign, which takes place in the 60s, and then BO2 takes place in the late 80s. And BO6 is taking place in 91. So that one's going to be, I guess, the newest, supposedly, from the storyline. But, so yeah, the story takes place, each thing has different outcomes. So there's two different outcomes in this game, which is really cool. I really enjoy that aspect. You got anything else you want to say, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that they did a lot with history. How it was so connected with Cold War and like some of the more
yes.
hidden underground things that, like with the history. And I really enjoyed that we're going back to like history connections and being a part of that. And it really makes you feel like not only are you part of something, but gives you kind of a feel of that time period and what things were more like during the Cold War. Because that's something that, I mean, obviously it's not like this is real, but there are things like Perseus is a real historical event.
Reagan is a real president.
Yes, President Reagan, and seeing him like being like, yeah, you can do whatever the hell you need to do to get the job done, bro. Like, that was pretty cool. And then, Hudson lying to you about the nuke's origin and that sort of stuff, and that twist, it was just, I mean, I really enjoyed it.
There's some great twists in this game, and I forgot about the history aspect. Just to add on to that, I love the history stuff in this game. All the Black Ops games, and all the ones that talk about like the history when they added into the Call of Duty. I love it when they do that. And this, I love those like cutscenes when they have like the animated like Reagan or whatever. Like, those things are really cool, and I love those parts. But yeah, I want to talk about a few of the missions that stood out to me in this campaign. I'm not going to go through every single one because it's for the video. But a couple of the ones that really stood out to me is I love Desperate Measures. That's mission 9. And that's the one when you go undercover in like the Russian base or whatever, and you're like undercover, and Hudson is there, I think. But that was one of my favorite missions. I love that one. I mean, like going undercover and stuff. I've got some really cool missions in this one. The last 3 are really good to like wrap up the story. Identity Crisis is great because they like Adler makes Bell, who you play as, Bell's like the character you play as, makes Bell look like he was like the bad guy the whole time. And then it's revealed in Ashes to Ashes, which is the last mission of the game, that Adler was the bad guy the whole time. And the scene when they're on the cliff or whatever, that's really cool, and he like pulls the gun on it and they both shoot each other, and that's a really good scene. I can't remember which outcome that is, and if there's what the other outcome is, but that's the one that I got when I played, and I remember that one was really good. And there's just some really good missions in this game. I just think it's overall really good. Consistently wise.
Not only that, but I enjoyed that you had multiple endings. This was the first one since BO2 to have multiple endings. In one, you have like almost everyone die, and then Bell just walks away like, hey, I'm just strutting. So, but I mean, like,
that's I forgot that.
But I don't remember if he was actually alive. I was just joking about that part. But I do remember that most of the characters died because of Bell's actions, and he basically sends them out to die, and then there's a good ending, that sort of stuff. But I mean,
good ending.
I thought it was really, in the choices that you can make throughout the game were pretty intriguing. I thought that the characters did a good job. I liked Park as a character; she did a good job. I liked some of the other characters that you met along the way, and it was just. What's that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say, and with the multiple endings, it makes it for replayability, and I just like that they really have that replayability factor with this game, especially. Like, it doesn't even need the multiple endings for it to be replayable. It's a fun story overall, so just adding that aspect to make it even more replayable is really good.
But speaking of replayability, the thing that kept me replaying Cold War time and time and time again had to be the zombies mode.
Yes, dude. The zombies
I
mode in this, love it, dude.
this like honestly, it's people love it, people hate it, but the
Yeah.
fact is that there has been so many new players to Call of Duty through Call of Duty Cold War and through the
Yes.
zombies mode and a part of the
I just find
zombies
it so
community, and it has been really great for that community growth. And I mean, overall, and this is, I mean, BO4 was a complete trip and fall. Like there was so much
yeah.
expectation, and it
There's
was
some good maps,
dashed.
but overall it wasn't.
And what we were
This one had, like,
promised,
I
and
love all the maps.
what we were given were two completely different things. And
Yeah.
that is, obviously an issue. So, but with BO4, I mean, not BO4, with Black Ops 5 and Cold War, my expectations for the series were basically gone at that point. I was checked out. I had no interest. I basically felt like Zombies was over. It fell and it died it basically died like Elvis Presley and died on the pooper.
On a toilet.
Yes, that's what it seemed like, and it was quite embarrassing to see a amazing franchise that I'd loved for years basically become a joke and a sham of what it was before. But then my mom went and she picked me up for Christmas that year. I mean, it was right around that particular time period where everybody had to stay inside all the time. So
Yeah.
I hadn't even played it when I did pick it up. That was when I started playing. It was during Christmas. And then throughout that year, I was able to start playing it more. And I mean, I didn't play a lot of it in the beginning. Honestly, I didn't start playing a ton of Cold War until about DLC 3, which is Mauer der Toten, when that came out. And by that point, me and you were basically moved out. And
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the
I remember
zombies.
that was like the only, besides Infinite Warfare, when we did that at the end. But when we weren't playing that one yet, I remember your Cold Wars. It kind of got me back into it because we were playing it so much.
And I
Yes.
honestly, I had fallen out of love with zombies at that point, and it really did bring me back. And it was the first game in for years that I actually was like, wait, I actually have hope for what they're gonna do with the future. And wait, they actually made changes that were good and had systems
What?
that made sense and that you were working towards, and you had progression, and it felt like it was. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the replayability of zombies and that you start over at square one every single time. But I mean, like, even in Black Ops 3, they started working towards a progression system where you could put attachments on your guns, that sort of stuff. And BO4, they did that. And it felt like a
Mm.
natural progression to an extent, and where you're able to, and this is a controversial thing, where you're able to have a gun when you start out the match, and you don't necessarily have to focus on as much going out and getting different weapons and
That
going
is
out and
true. I
doing
kind of didn't
different
realize
things.
that, but it doesn't bother me really at all.
But it doesn't really bother me because at the same time, there are different difficulties within the game that kind of still
Mhm.
counterbalance that, like the weapon rarity. Your weapon, if you
I
keep
feel
it
like
at
the
the
zombies
same,
get more aggressive faster for sure.
yes.
This one.
I mean, your health is pretty high in Cold War,
Mhm.
but I mean, at the same time, you have a complete. And what kept me coming back was the fact that you had that progression, that you were working towards getting those crystals to level up your
Mhm.
stuff,
The
to get a
ether
better
crystals, those ones.
yes, the ether crystals to get better, uh, field upgrades to get better like to make your perks better, to make,
Yes,
your
dude.
weapons more effective, to spawn in with a knife. It felt like
That revive one's so clutch. I know we're gonna
it,
talk about
it felt like that natural progression that you get throughout one zombies match,
Yeah.
where you are constantly building, but instead of just through one, you get that as each zombies match goes along. And that's personally what I really loved about it. And then
Yeah.
when they came out with the Outbreak game mode, that's another
Yeah.
completely new thing that a lot of
That's very
people
good.
didn't like. They're like, this isn't round based, I'm not gonna play it. But me personally, I felt like it
Like,
was
I liked it for what it was.
I felt like it was such a natural progression to what zombies could have continued to grow to be. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having it alongside round-based maps. And
Yeah.
I mean, it was still
I felt like if it was just Outbreak, it wouldn't be as good. But since it was just like its own thing, I like it.
yeah, and it felt like something that you could just hop in. You like pretty low stakes. You can build up at your own pace. It's still round based because as you progress each world, it gets harder and harder.
Right.
But you have the different objectives you go complete, and I mean, for the first 150 times, you're not gonna notice too much. Like the objectives are gonna be pretty varied. You're not really gonna get the same exact ones over and over again. And it's like the people that have played so many times that they're starting to have it get repeated. That they
Okay. I'll come with it. Sorry, go ahead, Ted.
no, good. You're all good. All right, back to what I'm saying about
Thank you, Carson.
zombies. Basically, it felt like it was just such a natural progression throughout the lifespan of the game mode, and with Outbreak, you're progressively building up throughout the rounds, and you're progressively getting stronger and like it felt like an open world. Like, yes, they could have made it more zombie-fied and everything like that, and I 100% get the criticisms behind it not feeling like zombies and it just feeling like you're in a war zone map with zombies.
And that was kind of my problem with it. But it's probably my least played map out of all of them, but I still like hop on it sometimes. And when I do hop on it, I have fun. Like, I like doing the objectives, and it's still a good time.
Yeah, and with the objectives, like people that have played it a bazillion times, it basically you'll start to get repetition from it then. But I mean, at the same time, that's why there's round based too. You're not supposed to just play one or the other all the time. And I feel like it was really worked well hand in hand, and I enjoyed the Easter eggs that they implemented in it throughout its lifespan. And I mean, each of the DLC packs were really good. You had the first one, which was D Machine, that wasn't a DLC, that came on disc.
Oh yeah, I like Die Machine.
Die Machine, D Machine, D Machina.
It's probably D Machine.
I don't even. You can pronounce it however the hell you want. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It's like German.
But that's one of my favorite maps.
Yes, I loved the way they reimagined Nocturne Totem, and it was a lot of fun, and I really like the.
I love fun in the Ether Tunnel. And the pack. It's just that's the one that I got to like round 40 on. It's just I play that map all the time. Like
I really like the Die Shockwave that you get on it, like the Wonder Weapon. It's a pretty fun one.
Wonder Weapon's really fun. Yeah, the other one's like when you suck. You can like suck up. Or is that the one where you like suck up?
Yeah, you zuck up the zombies.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Zuck.
The zuck. Zuck.
Give the zombies the zuck. But then
then transporting to the other world, to
the Dark Ether and back. I thought that was I've done the Easter egg on that map, and that was a really fun Easter egg.
I haven't done the Easter egg yet, but
Cold War was the second zombies game that I can't say that. It's actually the third zombies game that I started chipping away Easter eggs at, because BO2 was the first one, then BO3, and then
you didn't do BO4s?
No, I didn't bother with BO4. But BO5s I started chipping away at, and I think the only one that I have to do left is the Forsaken, and I want to say the second Outbreak Easter egg, because there's two in there.
Mauer Toten Firebase Z?
Firebase Z, I did that one. I did Mauer Toten's Easter egg, and I've done D Machine's Easter egg. But that was all when we were moved out together, and I was able to chip away a lot more time at those.
When you weren't a dad yet.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have so much going on. But essentially, like Firebase Z was a really fun map. I really enjoyed it.
That's the one I probably played the least. How's that one work again?
So that one, you are basically in Vietnam, and you teleport over to a different facility that's controlled by the KGB and the Russians. And essentially, your whole thing is that you're trying to free Samantha Maxis from the ether, and Dr. Peck's being kind of a cuck. Not gonna lie, there's an Easter egg step there that's a pain in the ass. The mimic step, I hate that with a passion.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But it was you have a end boss fight with the Orda that used to be the easiest boss fight known to man, but then they
Really?
actually heavily buffed it,
Buffed
so
it?
it's actually pretty
Damn.
difficult now. But it used to be an absolute joke. You'd go in there and you just melt the final boss, and it would be like, "Oh, this is over,"
That
within
was
30 seconds. So, but
yeah.
Firebase Z was a pretty good map. They just had a long wait between Firebase Z and Mauer Tone because that's when they
Oh,
came out with
that's right.
Outbreak.
Yes.
So, and that's what, like, because I came in when Outbreak, midway through Outbreak's release, and before
Yeah.
Mauer Tone came out was when I started playing Cold War. Because I finally had the motivation and I actually fell in love with the game. I
Right.
was just like, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, and then Mauer Toten is easily
I
my
love Hard to Tell.
dude. Mauer
That might be
Toten
my
is so good. It's my favorite.
atmosphere of that one. I love it, dude. It's so good,
Yes.
dark and spooky. I love the zip line feature. It's fun as hell.
The robot
Zip lining
Klaus,
the-
the Wonder
the robot
Weapon,
what?
the robot companion Klaus that goes.
Yes, dude.
The Easter egg's a lot of fun where you verse Valentina. I love the Cerberus. Or I think I think that's the name of it. The Wonder Weapon where it's the pistol and then it shoots the lasers out. But
Yes, yeah.
yeah, I absolutely love Mauer de Toe, and it's my favorite out of that map by far.
That's for me it's either Mauer Tone or Dime Machine. It's one of the-
Yes, both of those are just
Just-
easily the best. They're just great maps.
easily replayable. They're so
Yeah.
easy to just play over and over.
And the thing is, none of the maps are bad in the game. Even
No,
the final
like,
map.
I like Forsaken and Firebase C.
Yeah,
too.
Forsaken was still a good map too. It was
Yeah,
just
that's the one with the teleporters.
Yep,
Teleporting to, like,
all going all
I
around. You
really like.
you gotta go to like Burger Town and all the.
Yeah, and you gotta get all like collectibles, like the burger and
Yeah.
stores.
I
That's fun.
freaking
Yeah.
love the scene that you have to go through every time you open up Pack-a-Punch, where the
Oh my
one dude
God.
goes and turns around and slaps Dr. Peck. He's like,
Yeah.
just backhands the crap out of him, and I'll play a clip of it here. It gets me
classic.
to laugh every time. But,
Yeah, it's a great map.
but I mean, the whole purpose of that map is just to do the Easter egg mainly, and like
Yeah.
the whole time you're just getting pressured to do the Easter egg. So it's kind of like it
Which
doesn't-
I didn't realize that, but that kind of makes sense because that's part of the Easter egg, right? When you're like getting all the collectibles for the burger. Thing.
Yep,
That part of
and
the Easter egg.
everything like that. And then at the end, Samantha Max just comes out, and then you gotta first the Forsaken, and then take him
Yeah.
out, and then I don't get the Wonder.
dude's creepy.
I mean, I like the Wonder Weapon in that map, but it just reminds me of the
What is-
Needler from Halo. It's called the Chrysalax. It's like a purple crystal axe, but then it has a gun
yeah,
that shoots like needles, basically like the Needler from Halo. So
Right.
whenever I think of it, I just think of that. So
Right. You fucking stealing from Halo.
yeah, exactly. But
And Dead Ops Arcade, I played that the few times I played that. I enjoyed myself in that.
I
'Cause
enjoyed it
believe that's
too.
in BO1 and BO2 and BO3 probably as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure which one's it in, but I really enjoyed the one in Cold War a lot. Like I had a lot of fun playing that one.
I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed that you could go first person on it too. I
Yeah,
thought it was
yeah,
really
that was cool.
that was a good take on it. It wasn't
I played
like
it a couple times. I probably played Outbreak more, but like from what I
Yeah.
played, it's fun.
and it wasn't extremely difficult like the other ones were.
No.
Because the other
Oh my
ones were like the difficulty on the other ones, especially BO1s, is through the roof, man. It's so
Yeah.
hard to get any progression through that. Like you could spend 3 hours and you'll be on like stage 5, maybe, or something like that. It's like kill
Yeah.
me. So, but overall, I mean, the zombies mode really made me excited for BO6 and what they were gonna do with the future. And I mean,
we'll
I
see.
can't wait to,
Cool, great.
Liberty Falls has been a little bit disappointing from what we saw so far, but there are some changes that had been done, so I'm excited to
Which will be
see.
a video soon.
Yep, there'll be a video before BO6 releases, kind of going over that and the final thoughts before the major BO6 release. But
Yeah.
overall, I mean, Zombies was really well. It rated really high up there for me. And
Agreed.
I mean, with that, let's move on to the multiplayer, our final.
You know, I
pick.
had so much fun on this too, dude. Not just as well, maybe just as much fun. I don't know, but like I can go on multiplayer and zombies just as much. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, can we hop on multiplayer? Because the game modes on this one I really like. Like, oh, what's the gunfight? Gunfight, I have so much fun playing gunfight, dude. That is one of my favorite game modes in years. Like, I love that one. In the small maps like KGB, like all the smaller maps, game show, like the ones that you play on gunfight, both outstanding maps. Like, I just have a lot of fun on gunfight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play a ton of the multiplayer. I really enjoyed the fact that you shared experience between multiplayer and zombies. So when you hopped into one, you were high leveled, and then when you hopped into the other, you were high leveled. And same with like your weapon kits and everything like that. Like, you can obviously you'll want some that are more zombie specific and some that are more multiplayer specific. But at the same time, I mean, I really enjoyed the multiplayer side of this game. It was the map design. I mean, with stand-up maps like Moscow, Miami, and Satellite, I mean, there's some
oh my god. Showroom, I got a few too. Showroom, I really enjoyed. Zoo's another really good one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like remakes from other ones like Hijacked, and I believe Jungle is from an older COD as well. I'm not sure.
But it basically,
but there are some remasters from the older games.
And it really did a good job capturing what multiplayer is supposed to be. Just something that you can hop in and have a good time and just have a fun, like, adrenaline-filled blast. Playing with friends, playing team deathmatch or capture the flag. I mean, like, it is just a really solid pick out of all the multiplayers. I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. It feels obviously a lot like Black Ops 1, but it's like the first, I mean, I don't know, I kind of see it as like the first Black Ops that's in the next gen COD type systems, you know, where you have the next gen movement. It's all, you know, it's, I don't want to say it's Warzone-ified, but everything's kind of more streamlined, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, but honestly, I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun. I
agree, and I kind of see what you mean, because I feel like the last like few games, they've all just kind of felt, I don't know what the word is, but they've kind of, I don't know if kidify is the right word, but like they've been like I don't know what the word is. It just feels like they've been all right, never mind.
I did enjoy Nuketown 84. That was pretty fun.
I like Nuketown 84. Yeah, I don't know if I see, we just talked about BO4s, and I can't think of, that's the only one I can never think of, so I'm gonna go with I like Cold War's Nuketown better probably.
Well, BO4s was like the old like like the winter Soviet Russia one.
Oh yeah, with the, like in the snow.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah, they ended up remastering Jungle, Hijacked, Standoff.
Yep.
What is it? Raid. That's another one they remastered. Slums. But yeah, I mean, the fucking map with Bubby on it.
The map with Bubby.
The Burger Town dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did really enjoy Rush. That was pretty fun. Where it was a paintball arena.
Yes, that was really good.
But I mean, it was just a fast-paced, fun multiplayer, and I mean, I think my
you could go fast-paced, or you could go to the classics like Domination or like Kill.
I mean, did you have a go-to gun for?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that for a second. The guns, I enjoyed the guns in this game, especially like the ARs, like the Krieg 6. I really enjoyed. That's probably one of my go-to ARs. That, the AK-47, the XM4.
Yeah,
like,
very.
Tier 1, like a lot of the ARs were pretty solid in this game.
I think my go-to was the tactical rifles with the M16, and then the M14 were my go-tos. I don't know if it's named the M14, but it might be like something battle rifle. But the M16 was my go-to gun. And then also the shotguns. The shotguns were really good with
shotguns. Are so good. Yes, dude. Especially in like zombies. I love using shotguns.
Yeah, the shotguns were super good in zombies. They were amazing. But in the multiplayer,
zombies were all right. I feel like Bullfrog was kind of. I didn't really care for Bullfrog. I liked the MP5 and the Mulatto, but I just felt like I didn't really use the subs that much, and they had a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they did. I did use the AK-74U quite a bit.
Yeah, that one I didn't know. Yeah.
And then I remember using the PVS-41 when it came out when it came out through like the battle pass and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The DMR-14, not the M14. Sorry, copy.
Oh, the DMR-14. Okay.
Did you use any of like the LMGs or anything like that?
I did notice they brought back the Stoner 63 and the RPD, which is kind of cool. I never really used the LMGs that much, but I'm not really sure. Did you use them?
No, I didn't really use them. The ones that I did use the RPD a little bit. But I did mess around with the snipers here and there. I used the
Tundra.
Yeah, the Tundra was a pretty solid one. The Pellington 73 was a
the Pellington.
And then shotgun-wise, I loved the Howler and the Gallo. Those were amazing shotguns for zombies. I didn't use them too much in multiplayer, but I mean, pistols, my tried and true 1911 and a Magnum were always my favorite pistols to use if I was to use a pistol. But they had a ton of melee weapons too.
Dude, I was about to say the melee weapons were insane. In Gunfight, they had a game mode where they just use melee weapons.
Let me get it pulled up on screen what we're looking at because
so many of them. There's like just a few of them. Sledgehammer, the baseball bat.
Yeah, let me
machete.
Put it up for you guys.
Yeah. One that I thought was a katana, but it's actually the Waikashi and the scythe.
Yeah, because they had the knife, sledgehammer, wakashi, e-tool, machete, baseball bat, the mace, the canes, the scythe, the battle axe, the hammer and sickle. I absolutely loved the fact that you could what the hell? They had the ray gun as a Cold War special weapon?
I guess so. I see that too, and I did not even remember that.
I do not remember that either, but they used a picture of them.
Fucking ray guns.
Well, I'm gonna be a little annoyance, and I'm gonna say that they used a picture of the ray gun Mark II and said ray gun Mark I on it. So I'm gonna have to sue for that. Get out of here, you stupid ad. Everybody hates ads. But I mean, honestly, there was a lot of fun. Good, like it was just a great roster and a great choice of guns that you could choose from when it came to this, selection. And I mean, overall, I absolutely loved the picks that they had, the selection, and it was just such a fun multiplayer overall.
Oh, Newtown 84 Halloween. I didn't even know they did that, but that looks so cool.
Oh, speaking of which, that should be the next thing that I'm going to be talking about, because that's actually the first video that I ever came out with on our channel was about Call of Duty Cold War and the Halloween update.
Our very first Halloween special.
Yes, our very first Halloween special, which we should have some Halloween videos coming out around Halloween. Still getting them planned.
I have my Halloween special. It's in the works, being edited. That's coming out October 31st. I didn't know if you were going to drop one on October 31st as well, but I guess we'll see.
I guess we will see.
It might be a surprise.
Yes, it will. But
a double upload on Bumpkinbros on Halloween?
Perhaps. But I absolutely loved the Halloween update. It was so much fun. I loved the fact that they did all the drops with they had all the zombies with the pumpkin heads. They became Bumpkinbros.
Oh my god, that's right.
They were absolutely goated, and
OG Bumpkin.
OG Bumpkinbros. The zombies with the pumpkin on their head. And it just really disappointed me and you can hear it if you go and watch that original video. I go much more in depth with my seething hatred of the newer Call of Duty that was coming out at the time. That basically
the Vanguard.
I want to say it was MW3.
Oh yeah, I was probably.
But I was so pissed off that they took the Black Ops Cold War Halloween update away before Halloween. All I wanted to do was spend Halloween playing zombies.
I was like,
damn pumpkins on their damn heads. Is that much to ask for?
That was like the worst thing they could have done. Like they did it like when they get rid of the update. It was like a week before.
Yeah, it was like a week before, and I don't even know if it was a week before. It might have been like a few days before.
It was yeah.
Because I was so
Imagine
excited.
It was like the day before.
I was so excited to play it, and I worked all week, and I looked forward to it, and that was the one thing keeping me going. And when I got back there, my soul and my heart was crushed. That Treyarch took away my goddamn pumpkins, man. Not
like the worst thing they could have done.
It's not fair.
To focus on MW3, which was like so.
Yeah, but.
Oh man, I love this game though.
Activision and their greed. Activision and their greed. Will it ever stop?
Maybe there'll be a card of that video to watch our very first Bumpkinbros video.
I'll put a card up. Don't worry. If you guys want to go and see my suffering from 2 years ago, and when
you can hear me in the distance.
Which, speaking of which, we're coming up on our 2-year channel anniversary, my friend.
Bro.
Yeah. We have.
I didn't get you anything.
Dude, I didn't get you anything either, but I can only give you my ever-dying and everlasting commitment to making better content for our viewers.
Every video, try to make
every video get a little bit better, get that 1% better, and try to figure it out, because we want to make content for you guys, and we want to get better at our consistency. It's been an absolutely just crazy year for me, becoming a dad and having my life just flip on its head and spin around in circles. I've had a lot of major life things going on, but I don't want to make excuses, but at the same time, I know that you guys do understand, and that's what's taken me away from my responsibilities here. But at the same time, this is what I love doing. I love making content, and I love talking about dumb things that entertain people and that we love talking about, and making funny videos and making people hopefully laugh or make that little bit of their day that much better with our content. So
exactly.
But we couldn't have done any of this stuff without you guys throughout the last 2 years, and we've had so much growth.
Insane growth. Like
in our
1,000 of you guys have subscribed. Thank you so much.
Yes, over 1,000 of you guys have subscribed and joined us along in this journey, and it's only the beginning. This is the first 2 years, and these have been major learning milestones. I mean, hell, the two of us are both still so young. I mean, we're both 22, so it's not like we have so many more years to hone our craft, become better, figure out what exactly we love making for you guys, what you guys love that we produced and want to see from us, and how we can grow this YouTube channel and create the best stuff that we can for you guys. And we just want to say thank you, and just we're so excited to get this journey going for BO6 and get this show on the road.
Excited to see what the rest of 2024 has in store, dude.
Exactly. And I mean, honestly, if you have any other comments about our lovely Black Ops series that we have reviewed up until this point, because I know that we won't do our final rankings.
The last one, the Black Ops.
We won't do our final rankings until we do a thorough review of BO6 and do our podcast to that once we've been able to play it for long enough. So we're going to do an initial podcast for like our first impressions that first week of the BO6 release. But
then we gotta play.
Then we gotta play it for a bit, and then probably a month or two in.
See all the maps. Gotta see all the maps come out.
Yeah, and once BO6 is run its course, we'll be able to give a definitive final review. But I mean, we're so excited. We have a lot of content cooked up for BO6, a lot of goofy stuff, a lot of different challenges, different videos, different just types of content, and we just are so excited for you guys to join along with the ride. But just thank you. And if you guys want to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, it means the world to us, and the more of you guys that join along and help support us, the more that we can do for you guys in return. So
thank you guys.
And without further ado,
that's the end of the Black Ops series.
The end of the Black Ops videos. for now. But
Well, we'll still have a lot more Call of Duties to do in podcast form, but instead of the Black Ops
yes,
series, well, it'll be 06s, and then it'll be the real end.
but thank you guys so much for watching
It'll be
today's
a
video, and we will catch you guys in the next podcast. See ya. And
Peace.
BO6 videos coming out real soon.
Yes, real soon. Double peace.